Yo, what's up, guys? It's Kess, and in this video today, we are going to be covering the new and first look at the dungeon pool for the Mythic Plus Season 1 in the Midnight Expansion. Um, so to start things off, we have Magister's Terrace, Mysara Caverns, Nexus Point, Zemus, don't know how to say that, Windrunner Spire, Algathar Academy, so we're getting a Dragonflight dungeon back already. Pit of Sauron from Wrath of the Lich King, Seat of the Triumvirate from Legion, and Skyreach from Warlords of Draenor. Now, for Magister's Terrace, this is not the one that we have come to love from the Burning Crusade. This is a completely reworked dungeon. It's a brand new dungeon, all new bosses, everything. It's nothing like you could expect from the TBC version. So these are the four looking bosses. None of the loot and stuff really is in the game yet. But just, yeah, an early look at the season and the bosses and stuff like that. We'll just quickly go through and look at everything here. All the models look really cool. I think this Mysara Caverns one is sort of like a Zola Man, kind of like troll style dungeon, which I'm really excited for. These models look like they're similar to what we saw in Koresh. More Void Lord style stuff. Ooh. This guy looks sick. Oh, wow. That looks even better. Yeah, these are sick. You can kind of see like some of the loot, some trinkets and stuff. But a lot of it's just like placeholder and unfinished. Next is Windrunner Spire. This is another one of the new dungeons. This will be the last. This will be the last of the new dungeons that we see in Season 1. Also looks pretty cool. Oh, that kind of looks like Sylvanas. That kind of looks like Sylvanas a little bit. It's probably not, but interesting. I mean, it is Windrunner Spire. Yeah. But yeah, and then Algathar Academy. Honestly, I'm a big fan of this dungeon. I loved it back then. I'm super curious to see how they rework it. That's always something that is exciting and to look forward to. Pit of Sauron. Yeah, I mean, this was a mini dungeon back in Wrath of the Lich King. Very like lore heavy, kind of story based. So I'm curious to see how they do this. It was like somewhat open format. You would follow like a straight line road, but you could like steer off the road, and there was a lot of like open format options for routing and stuff like that. But yeah, it looks like they have two bosses that are finished. So we'll see how these go. Because these will obviously have to be very different. Like this guy like rode on a dragon and had some very jank mechanics and like a little like RP maze that you had to go through at the end and stuff like that. Ick and Crick had, I think, some sort of like fixate mechanic with Ick. And I remember like a lot of like pools or puddles dropping around the room. So yeah, I'm curious to see how they rework that. And then Forge Master, this boss was like, I think you would get like you get like a stacking debuff, and then you'd have to like hide behind a crystal to clear your debuffs or something. You would do like a big boom or something like that. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how they recook it. But I remember it being kind of annoying back in Wrath. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Seat of the Triumvirate. A lot of people thought we should have got this season at the end of the War Within, but yeah, we're getting it in Season 1 of Midnight. I'm honestly excited for this dungeon. I know a lot of people didn't really like it in Legion, but I think with a good rework and some intentional changes, this could be a banger dungeon. Pretty like open format as well, which is always fun for routing and stuff like that. And then Skyreach, I think a lot of people have been asking for this one for a while. A lot of people like this dungeon. Pretty linear dungeon, just run in a straight line, pull things, and fight the bosses. So we'll see how that plays out. But I honestly think I'm pretty excited for this one. I think I think it'll be a short, fast dungeon, and I think you'll do a lot of like big pulls, maybe even like big pulls onto bosses and stuff. Yeah, pretty excited for the season. And then one massive announcement that I want to say is in in the midnight expansion. Sorry, I just had to figure out how to phrase this. In the midnight expansion, um, every single kick in the game is getting an extended lockout. So for example, let's hover over the evoker one. It doesn't actually say the tooltip hasn't changed, but all our tooltips will change, and all of our lockouts will be getting 2 3 second increases. Um, on top of that, mobs in M plus dungeons will no longer reach a point of diminishing returns where they become immune to stuns, right? So currently in gameplay, if you stun once, then the second stun is a shorter duration, right? And then the third stun is a shorter duration, and then the fourth stun is like immune, right? So what would happen a lot of times, especially if you're playing like a Havoc Demon Hunter, their current gameplay design, where they would have to like stun the mobs, and or they'd meta stun the pack, right? And then all of a sudden you can't really use your CC to control the pack anymore. Well, that is no longer going to be a thing. So it will no longer be immune to your stop. It's just going to keep DRing up to like 1/16 of a stun. So if Tommy, you know, Chaos Nova's on pole, and then Meta's the pack on pole, and Billy, the shaman, also put down a double cap totem, and then your augmentation evoker flew in and stunned the pack as well. All of those CCs would apply to the mob. Just every single one would diminish a little bit more, right? So there's no longer just a flat out immunity. It's just going to be a reduced CC. So you're always going to get value out of your stops, unless for some reason you reach the peak DR. Um, but I think this is an absolutely incredible change. Longer kick lockouts, stops are more meaningful. And I think it's absolutely awesome. We'll see how it plays into dungeon design when we get more into testing M plus in Midnight. See like if they have packs with less kicks, less stops, stuff like that as well. But yeah, it seems like they want that sort of side of the game to be less like, oh, you need a shot caller and you need this, and that, or less griefing with deciding to send your CC, whether it's for damage or whatever, right? I think overall, absolute net positive changes for the game. Let me know what you guys think about them below, and let me know what your thoughts are on the new dungeon pool for this season. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.